Hi guys, I am Ayushi, your mentor for law entrance exams, and welcome to Law Digest. Now, as I had mentioned earlier, that I'll be covering up with new series wherein I'll be covering different cases in individual videos. So ये है वो सीरीज इस सीरीज में हम क्या करेंगे? इस सीरीज में हम जो भी राउंड द ईयर के डेवलपमेंट्स हैं, जो मेजर लीगल केसेस हैं, important legal burning issues हैं, those we are going to cover. So all these we are going to cover through these series. इससे क्या होगा? जो लोग लॉ एंट्रेंसेस की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं, they'll be able to revise things better, and the others who are interested in law as a subject, they might get something new to learn. So stay tuned with these series, and if you don't want to miss out on such videos in future, then do subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon for more such updates. So starting with the case that we are looking at in hand, the issue that we are looking at in hand is the popular issue of Arnab Goswami's arrest. Now, we need to keep in mind that Arnab Goswami's arrest was made in two cases. One was relating to TRP scam, and the other was relating to the suicide case of Anvay Naik. This one presently deals with the suicide case of Anvay Naik. Now, what basically happened here? Arnab Goswami, we all know, is a popular news anchor, and now he is the director and editor in chief of his own independent channel called Republic TV. So he was arrested on November 4th, 2020 by the Rajgarh police. Why? In connection with the Anvay Naik suicide case. Now, let's move further and see what really happened in this case. Now, this case pertains to the year 2018. 2018 का ये केस है, अनवे नायक की सुसाइड का केस, जिसमें अर्नब गोस्वामी को नवंबर 2020 में अरेस्ट किया गया. अब अगर इस केस का पास देखें तो ये था कि अनवे नायक जो एक इंटीरियर डिजाइनर थे, ही वाज एन इंटीरियर डिजाइनर, ही एंड हिज मदर बोथ कमिटेड सुसाइड. बाय? बिकॉज दे वर पेमेंट ऑफ ड्यूज, दे वर नॉन पेमेंट ऑफ ड्यूज बाय अर्नब गोस्वामी, फिरोज शेख एंड नितेश फारदा. तो ये तीन लोग थे जो अनवे नायक को कुछ पैसे ओ करते थे. दे ओड सम मनी टू हिम, due to which he committed suicide because he did not receive this money, and due to this mental pressure he committed suicide, and a case was registered against the three of them in that year. But later on, this case was closed because there was lack of evidence. There was no really evidence was found that these people are guilty. Now, what were the allegations against this person? Firstly, abetment of suicide, that they had caused Anvay Naik to commit suicide. उन्होंने उसकी suicide abet करी है under section 306 of the IPC. Then common intention under section 34 of the IPC. Section 34 of the IPC provides that when two or more people, they come together and they do something in furtherance of that common intention, that is how they can be made jointly liable under section 34 of the IPC, and also bribe to public servant under section 109 of the IPC. Now, moving further, why are we talking about this case as of now? The case has reopened. How? Since Arnab Goswami is a media person, and during the time when the popular celebrity Sushant Rajput committed suicide, Arnab Goswami was reporting the same incident on his media channel, and wherein he requested that Riya Chakrabarti be jailed, that she be apprehended, that in relation of the suicide of this actor Riya Chakrabarti be apprehended. तो इसको लेके काफी इशू हुआ. ये बोला गया कि मीडिया ट्रायल हो रहा है, मीडिया खुद से ही किसी भी इंसान को गिल्टी बोल दे रही है, एंड लोगों के बीच में ये व्यूज कॉज कर रही है, ये व्यूज ला रही है कि जो मीडिया ने बोला है वही इंसान गिल्टी है, एंड दे आर कॉजिंग मीडिया ट्रायल ऑफ रिया चक्रवर्ती. नाउ, after this happened, since he was seeking arrest of Riya Chakravarti openly, the case of Anvay Naik got reopened by the Maharashtra police. Maharashtra police ने इस केस को खोल दिया, and Arnab Goswami was taken before the CJM's court, Chief Judicial Magistrate Court के सामने उनको लाया गया, and he was arrested. Now, let's understand issues with respect to his bail, how his bail was granted. So once he was produced before the CJM and he was arrested, he applied for bail before the Bombay High Court. अब बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट ने बोला कि आप अपनी बेल एप्लीकेशन लेके सेशंस कोर्ट के सामने जाइए. बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट सेड दैट यू गो टू सेशंस कोर्ट विद योर बेल एप्लीकेशन. Then Arnab moved to the Supreme Court, wherein the Supreme Court granted bail to Arnab. So the bail was granted to Arnab. Now, when the matter again came up before the CJM passed an order that till 16th April 2021, Arnab Goswami will be excused from giving personal appearances. He will be excused from appearing personally. उसको personal appearance कोर्ट में देने की जरूरत नहीं है 16th अप्रैल तक. अब कोर्ट ने क्या ऑब्जर्व करा? कोर्ट ने बोला कि ये जो अरेस्ट है दिस सीम्ड इलीगल. ये जो अरेस्ट है इसमें कोई कनेक्शन नहीं बन रहा बिटवीन द सुसाइड ऑफ सुशांत सिंह राजपूत एंड द इंटीरियर डिजाइनर अनवय नायक. इन दोनों की सुसाइड केसेस के बीच में कोई कनेक्शन नहीं है जो अर्नब गोस्वामी को इसके बीच में लाया जाए. डिमांड ऑफ पुलिस कस्टडी वॉज डिनाइड बाय द कोर्ट. कोर्ट ने बोला कि पुलिस को अर्नब गोस्वामी की कस्टडी दे दी जाए, but then the court denied the same. And the closure reports have still not been challenged by the either parties, and the court felt that ये जो केस को रीओपन किया गया है by the Maharashtra police, this was done without the permission of the court. And the court said that the Supreme Court said that it would be travesty of justice if personal liberty of a person is curtailed like this. So it basically says that Arnab Goswami is an Indian citizen. He has the right to freedom of speech. So अगर उसको इस तरह से अरेस्ट कर लिया जाएगा, इस तरह से डिटेन कर लिया जाएगा, he has his right to life under Article 21. That would amount to curtailing personal liberty, and that is what the court basically observed here at the time of granting bail. Now इसमें laws क्या involved हैं? Firstly, as we saw, section 306 IPC जो abatement of suicide की बात करता है. Then for the fundamental rights relating to freedom of press and speech under Article 19(1)(a), and also under Article 21 relating to life and liberty. So ये दोनों laws यहाँ पर involved थे. तो अगर हम इस केस को ब्रेक डाउन करके दो अलग अलग एंगल से देखें कि क्या इसमें लॉज इन्वॉल्व हैं, किस तरह से लीगल प्रोविजंस दे कम इनटू प्ले इन दिस पर्टिकुलर केस. फर्स्ट एंगल हम देख रहे हैं section 306. Now what should we know about section 306? It relates to abatement of suicide. Firstly, there should be suicide. किसी इंसान को suicide करना जरूरी है, किसी इंसान की suicide होना जरूरी है. Then abatement or instigation of the said suicide by the accused. So अगर कोई इंसान suicide कर रहा है तो दूसरा इंसान जो है उसने ये suicide abet या instigate करी होनी चाहिए to fall under section 306. That person must have abetted or instigated the commission of suicide. Then there has to be a direct link between abatement and suicide. Now, when the actual suicide takes place, there has to be a direct link between abetting, instigating of the suicide and taking place of that suicide. Second angle, अगर fundamental rights के point of view से देखें, यहाँ पर the court said that this arrest was illegal. Now, basically, section 41 of the CRPC जो है वो term arrest को define करता है. अगर कोई अरेस्ट होती है जो इलीगल है, अनफेयर है, then it is in violation of the fundamental rights. Here, Arnab Goswami had the freedom of speech. He is a media person. He is free to speak. Then his freedom of speech is being curtailed in this way by seeking his arrest, just because he spoke out, and also the fact that his liberty, personal liberty, is being curtailed. Why? Because he was produced before the CGM court and he was immediately arrested. So proper procedure of arrest was not followed as per the court. अगर हम अरेस्ट की बात करें, this is just for your additional knowledge, there are certain cases that deal with arrest. First one is DK Basu versus State of Bengal. Now this particular case lays down certain guidelines that need to be followed in case of arrest. Guidelines, requirement, procedure for arrest, detention and interrogation of a person. This is a leading case in this matter and you should be aware of this case. Then next is Anuradha Bhasin and others versus Union of India. This case is also important. This is basically with respect to the internet issue in Jammu and Kashmir. Here, this case says that freedom of press is to be respected by the government and journalists need to be accommodated in reporting. They will report things and they should be given the freedom of speech, and ye freedom of speech, they should be respected by the government that is available to the media persons. Then Romesh Thapar versus State of Madras is another case which says that freedom of press को तभी curtail किया जाना चाहिए if it is violating certain grounds, like it is against the security of the state, or sovereignty and integrity of India, public order, morality, और contempt of court. ये जो restrictions हैं of freedom of speech, these are already listed in Article 19, Sub Article 2. There are certain grounds that are listed for every freedom. All the freedoms that we have, they are not absolute, they are restricted. सारे freedom हमारे कुछ extent तक restricted हैं. ये restrictions जो हैं ये reasonable हैं. तो हमारे फंडामेंटल राइट्स जो हैं, इवन दो ये बोला जाता है कि हमें फंडामेंटल राइट्स दिए गए हैं, बट देन दीज राइट्स आर नॉट एब्सोल्यूट. वी हैव टू कीप सर्टेन थिंग्स इन माइंड, and what those things are, they have been laid down in every provision differently. And 19.2 speaks of restrictions with respect to freedom of speech. So with this particular case sums up of Anvay Naik. There is another case of TRP scam wherein Arnab Goswami, the matter has been postponed in June, and similarly Arnab Goswami was arrested in the fake TRP scam which was busted. He was granted bail by the court on the ground that काफी time हो गया है investigation को, 4 months had already elapsed and there was no evidence that came out. And further, the court said that in case you want to arrest him, then prior 3 days notice needs to be given, just in case you want to make an arrest in that case. Both these two cases are different. This one deals with abetment of suicide and violation of fundamental rights, and that one deals with cheating and criminal breach of trust. So that is the main difference. With this, we come to the end of this video. Just in case you have any more questions on this particular issue, you can mention the same in the comment box below, and let me have your feedback as to how was this session for you.